300 तक वेट करें? कब तक वेट करें?
बस 1-2 मिनट और 1 मिनट मैं इधर आ जाऊं. Unable to join in admit, do join us on YouTube. Our channel is course up at IITG. Kunal, shall we start?
थोड़ा सा वेट करें अभी. यार अपने फ्रेंड्स को मैसेज कर दो, सारे जल्दी ज्वाइन हो जाओ. अभी स्ट्रेंथ बहुत कम दिख रही है.
कुणाल, मैं कहता हूँ कर देते हैं यार, उनका भी स्केड्यूल टाइट चल रहा है.
ठीक है. तो ठीक है. कर रहे हैं. अरे म्यूट करो अपने आप को जो भी है. ठीक है. So hello everyone, I am Kunal Garg, founder of CourseHub. Welcome you all to this session, Intro to the Freshman Year. Before moving on, let me tell you what is CourseHub. As the name suggests, it is the course management platform created by the IITG with their colleagues by providing them with course materials and all other academic related solutions. Now Shambhavi will continue.
Okay, so yeah, good evening everyone. I'm Shambhavi and I welcome you to Course Up Intro to Freshman Year session. Am I audible? Yes, okay. So basically the online semester must be really tough for you guys. Especially for you guys because like you may not be having much friends right now and also there are no seniors and professors in person to guide you. So basically you will be feeling very burdened. Yeah, I can see very like many yes in the live chat. Yeah. So basically that's why we are meeting today. To alleviate your burden, to comfort you a little bit, we have brought together some sophomores who will be sharing their and expertise in all the all the freshman courses, and they'll just guide you and they'll better equip you to face this semester, this online semester. So I'll just tell you how we are going to proceed today. First, we'll have a course-wise talk. Like the speakers here will be telling you about every course in short, in detail also. And then we'll have the Q&A session. We'll basically address all the questions that you had entered into the registration form. And after that, we'll be open up for live questions. You can enter the questions in the question section, question tab, and we'll try to answer as many as we can. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started with the course-wise talk.
Alright, so hi folks. So I'll be dealing with MA 101. So MA 101 is usually the toughest course in first sem because it's counterintuitive and tough. And we're usually dealing with stuff we have never studied before, like in the JEE prep. Okay. So in the pre-mid sem part, you guys will be studying real analysis. In real analysis, there will be a few topics like epsilon delta limits and things which you have not studied before. So what I suggest you guys is make sure you solve all the tutorials very well. So at least once, so that you have an idea of what kind of questions will be asked in the examination. Once you're done with that, you can move on to solve the past papers, and this 2-3 days prior to the examination. If you have a few doubts, if you feel your concepts are not very clear in a few areas, you can read this book called Bartle and Sherbert. And the thing is, it's quite exhaustive and quite rigorous. So make sure you read relevant portions and the topics you feel you are not very much comfortable in. Okay, so this is for the pre-midsem part. After this, you guys will be studying multivariable calculus in post-midsem. So the good news is multivariable calculus is not that hard. So it's comparatively scoring because it mostly involves calculative questions involving integrals. Still, the way to approach it remains the same. Make sure you solve all the tutorials very well. Also, make sure you solve the examples given in the slides very thoroughly. Once you're done with that, solve the past papers. And still, if you think you feel you are a bit in few areas, practice from Stewart. It's an excellent book to make your concepts strong. So also try to visualize like all the things given in the slides, because it will help you to build an intuition and it will help you strengthen your concepts. So this is it for MA 101. So this was just a brief overlook. Now Gitanjit will be adding a few points here. So Gitanjit, please.
So am I audible? Hello? Am I audible? Yeah, okay. So the thing is, this year, since it's online for you guys, so it is like normally the Department of Maths or any department in IIT Guwahati is like it's a habit that they will try to make questions tougher than usual. Even like I personally attempted your paper, like the quiz one which you had, I think 2 3 days back. So I attempted that paper, and like I found it, I think, tougher than our paper. In fact, like if you just consider the difficulty of the questions, but there is a good thing also there, that you don't have to actually like write the subjective answers. So you only need to write the objective answers. So there are some tricks which you need to develop, like at least in the next quiz which you have. Like I think you guys are having only 4 quizzes, right? So in the next quiz you have to score well, I guess, in the real analysis part, because after that it will be pretty chill. Like I that MBC, but this resource which I have added, this IIT Kanpur site. Please go through this. Like all there are like there are chapter wise, like topic wise. Like for example, you have got like Taylor series which you will be having. After that, you have got convergence and all. So you will get practice problems with solutions for each topic, and if you like do those questions, I am pretty sure you will be able to face all questions properly. And this this Ookla site also has pretty good resources of notes and problems. These are just like for the extremely difficult questions in the exams. Like this Ookla one, you have to like go only in that case. But IITK site, I will like suggest you to really follow this site, because they have got like awesome notes. They have got like topic wise notes and everything. So like if this link is not accessible, you can just type IITK MTH 101 on Google. After that, I think yeah, like the second part of the course, multivariable calculus, is very important. So like like even if you are like thinking, "Ki, let's just like stop studying it, it's very difficult," please don't stop, because it will not only be useful for this 8 credit course in first sem, it will be very much useful in the second sem PH 102. There is another course that has basically the half the courses totally multivariable calculus. Like if you are strong here, then it will be very useful afterwards. After that, the Stewart book which Rohit said, like definitely like solve the that solve examples, like do it smartly, not like you are doing each and every question. Like just do more questions in the topics which you are finding difficult. But after that, there are some post chapter exercises which I personally solved. So like I actually got two questions, two big questions, six marks questions, exact ditto copied in the exam, the final exam. So it was very useful for me. They don't have solutions in the book, but you will find them in the internet if you just copy paste the whole question text. So like if you like want to solve those really difficult question which probably no one is going to solve, you can be prepared for them using this third point which I have. And yeah, there is a part Jacobian transformation of variables and all. Please do it properly. These MA101 profs love to ask questions from this part, and they get a lot of like. You will mostly make mistakes here. Like MVC, I think there are only two topics which are difficult: those theorems and this Jacobian part. If you do it properly, like if you do them properly, I think you will like get, I think, double or triple marks which you are getting in the first two quizzes. So like don't get demotivated by the first two quizzes. Whatever happens, just do it properly in the third and fourth quizzes. They are just easy stuff. After that, yeah, like in this quiz two which you will be having, you will have Taylor series part. So like I think if you just note down some series, like try like forming the sin x series and all yourself, so that it will be like helpful in the exam if you get some weird like some weird function or something. Like this part needs a lot of practice, and like in the conversions and all, you will be using those ratio rules and root rules and nth root rules. So like in our case, we weren't allowed to actually use those like tricks, but in MCQ no one is going to check. So try like using smart tricks which you might have learned in JE and the limits and continuity part, and it will be like most of the times answers are like one or half or zero or infinity. So like try making those like calculated guesses. Since it's MCQ, I myself attempted a paper and most questions could be solved without actually solving them. So try doing that. Yeah, like since you guys are getting it tough, everyone is finding it tough. So don't get demotivated if you get like even if you get negative marks in this first course. I know you have got negative marking as well in this course. So please don't get demotivated. This quiz 2 to 4 will be much better experience. So that's it. By my one.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to be taking you through the PH 101 course. So I guess you have paper for it tomorrow or something like that. And it's not a very difficult course. It's a scoring one. And yeah, your first part, the Lagrangian and Hamilton one. Of the two, the Lagrangian and Hamilton and the special theory of relativity, which is going to be in your next after the midsem. The Lagrangian one is the scoring one, and you don't need to do too much for this subject. You just need to do like two weeks before the exam. You need to go through the lectures quite well and do all the tutorial questions, and that's about it. And even if you still feel that you have some preparations left, then you can do the tutorial. You can look at the questions once again and definitely do the previous year papers. And don't worry if your quiz goes bad for this, especially the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian one, because you see it's a new way of solving questions. Up till now we've been studying Newtonian mechanics, and so it is quite interesting and it is a new way. Personally, my quiz went in case of Lagrangian and Hamiltonian, but still the midsem was very easy, and yeah, everyone was able to score quite good marks in it with minimum effort. And the next part, that is the midsem part, the special theory of relativity. It is a bit difficult. It is a bit tricky topic, and you would have to refer to YouTube videos in order to understand the concepts. There are many good YouTube channels such as Minute Physics and so on that are going to help you understand these concepts. And after watching those videos, you can just memorize the formulas and do the tutorial questions, and that's it. You just need, and then just before the paper, you need to do the previous year papers, and that's about it. We got lucky in our time that our NSEM paper, which consisted of this special theory of relativity, was quite easy as compared to previous years. So you just need to do the previous year questions and do the tutorial questions quite honestly, and that would be enough for this subject. You can easily score really high marks in this subject. That's about it for this subject.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. So I am Animesh Kumar, and I'll be talking about EE 101. It is considered to be one of the toughest courses, for only second only to MA 101 by our year. And now I'm going to tell you why and how to. So basically, this course is divided into 4 parts, and we'll be talking about each one by one. Okay, let's start with DC analysis. This one is actually a pretty rather simple part. All you got to do is just learn the various rules and theorems and the specific circuits they apply to. And once that is done, you'll be able to solve basically any problem. And the calculations can be a little bit of a pain, but we'll get to that at the end. And about this one, in DC analysis, you'll note that often to various kinds of circuits, you will be able to apply many methods, but only one of them will be shorter. This one you can practice, or maybe like memorizing the figure, that okay, you look at the figure and you just know which formula to apply. And once you are able to make that understanding, it will be very easy for you. And I think it's not very tough. This one is a very scoring part. And second, we'll be following it with digital, which is basically the logic gates and Boolean algebra and everything. So this one actually is long, it's lengthy, but it's actually pretty easy. Many of it contains topics that many of you might have already studied before. So one advice I can give is that YouTube is very helpful in this, because the topics are pretty straightforward, and you'll be able to find videos regarding everything, and even online articles. Mostly you'll have some weird combination of devices, flip-flops or logic gates, and all those things, and you just might need to find out certain input in the question. Sometimes it can be lengthy. What to do is just find the right technique. For that, it's very helpful. I can't stress it enough. Okay, moving on, we can talk about polyphase. As you can see in the slides, it's written as a hit or miss. I'm saying this because some people have very easy time understanding it, while others others it's very tough. It's not very different from DC analysis, except it's like a three-phase circuit, which you'll see what it is. The first part, which deals with star and delta circuits, can be a little tricky. It is mostly solved using phasors, a topic you might have a little idea of thanks to your JEE preparation, but here you'll study it in much more detail, combined with complex circuits. It's not as daunting as it sounds, but it can be tricky. Yes, I agree. So you can refer to books and some online articles to get a gist of it. And the calculations are extremely painful in this one, so be mindful of that. The second part is the magnetic circuits, which is actually the easiest part. It basically contains all the things you have studied in your JEE days, the Ampere circuit law and all. So that's very simple. And now next, we'll be coming to the final part about diodes. This part is considered to be the most boring part, mostly thanks to the professor, but let's not go there. So like here, it's in the PPT, it's written, all you have to do is just remember, there will be a lot of devices, okay, diodes and everything. So all you do is just learn how a device affects the circuit and run circuit analysis using all the things you learned in the first topic, the DC analysis part. It's basically the same. Mostly KCL usually works more than KVL, because Professor Bose is he does not like KVL, okay, so usually sometimes it are not fun to solve with KVL. Very careful. The calculations will not be painful in this one, but the chances of mistakes are very high if you miss a certain property or something. So just keep that in mind. All you got to do is just mug up everything. Now we'll come to a very last but not least point: calculations. In this one, especially in polyphase and DC analysis, the values will be extremely painful to calculate, and the range of answers is very narrow, right? Like in JEE, we had a very long range of answers, but here it's very narrow. So you need to be very careful about what you're calculating. Do not make any approximations before reaching the final answer. All right. Just for example, if you are doing a calculation and you get a value, just put it as it is for further calculation. Do not approximations. I mean, as well, they are allowed, and if it's an online SEM, who cares? So there's that. And also one thing, be very mindful of signs, decimals, and units. Take away a lot of marks from people. You just read the questions, how many decimal places they have asked. They will not even, like, seriously, they will not even accept a point 0.1 decimal. So be very careful about that. I know this is one of the tougher courses because you remember so many things and it has such a vast syllabus. You don't need to read any books or much, only YouTube for digital part, and rest slides and tutorials and all that. So I guess that's it for me, guys. All the best.
Parag, are you there?
Parag, are you there?
He is. Okay. Meanwhile, we can go to chemistry. Ishant, are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to chemistry
Just
first
you
of
can
all.
speak if you can. So you can speak. Parag,
Parag is having some issues. We will do
let
chemistry
him
first.
reconnect. अगले सब्जेक्ट पे चले जाओ.
हाँ. Ishant, okay, 1 minute. Ishant, you can start.
So, hi guys, about CH 101. This course is relatively easier than rest of the courses, but as it is easier, so you need to score high to get good marks, good grades. Now, talking about organic, this is mostly the stuff that we have learned in 11th, 12th, but spectroscopy is a bit tricky, so you need to focus on that. Uh, organic is tougher than the rest of the two parts, so you need to practice it more than the two. Talking about inorganic, uh, you need to focus on lectures because sir will give you hint about the questions that he will be asking in the exam. Also, you need to go through about uh, previous year questions because the he will ask from that too. Talking about physical questions from previous year paper are must because he will repeat this question as it is without even shuffling options. You no need to study anything else but to be on the safer side or a backup, just go through the slides at least once. And also do not mail sir that please don't ask questions about from the previous year because if you do so, uh, it will be very difficult for you guys. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Have you joined? I think he is having connection. Sai, you can speak for the labs
Parag,
till then.
have you unmuted yourself? Parag.
Yes, Parag is here.
Uh, am I right? Okay. Okay. Am I still not?
Mm.
You're
Now
audible.
you are audible, Parag.
Okay. So okay. Now I'm on. Issue.
Sai, can we move to the labs till then? Sai, can we move to the labs?
Let him reconnect. Can we move on to next one?
तुझे बोलना सी का। हाँ सी सी ठीक है। ओके मैं खोल रहा।
So hello everyone. So I guess you have two labs. Like not every one of you have the same lab, but you have two labs. One is PH 110 and another is ME 110. So one is mechanical workshop obviously, and another is physics lab. So in mechanical workshop, you just need to pay heed to what sir is saying. Like sir is the professor is very lenient. He gives good means relative grading में भी अच्छा grade मिल जाता है उसमें. और I guess today you had a MU 110 exam, so it was pretty easy as I came to learn from some of you. So ऑब्जेक्टिव ही रहता है बेसिकली, तो ज्यादा नहीं, बस याद रखना कि क्या टूल्स रहते हैं एंड ऑल. बाकी एट द एंड ऑफ द सेमेस्टर तुमको एक पोस्टर बनाने बोलेंगे. सो मेक द पोस्टर little creative and decorative. You will anyhow you will get a good marks in that, but you can do the poster on maybe tools or any one of the topic like fitting or carpentry. About project, I guess sir hasn't told you. So project might require a little bit of physical labor, but except that it's pretty easy scoring. Also physics lab, talking about physics lab, the most important thing in physics lab is to write a good lab report. So about lab report, one thing I would strictly advise against is don't manipulate data in any way. Don't ever manipulate data in that. If sir finds that you're manipulating data, then he might cut heavy marks for it. Except that it's pretty easy scoring. Also, read the you can also watch YouTube tutorials if you don't get a hands-on experience on physics lab. Maintain scientific accuracy also is important. There are marks for that also. Except that, that's it. And I pass over to, I guess, Parag or Animesh to speak on CE 101.
All right. I'll again be filling up for my friend Parag. He has some connection issues. First of all, I think it's supposed to be C110. There seems to have been a mistake. So bear with that. Now, let's go. These are the in engineering drawing labs, okay? Not to create any confusion. Now, the first point is very important. Try to be as neat as possible. In our time, they had told us that there are no more marks for neatness, but that was a big lie. If your thing wasn't neat, they would just not give you marks. So try to be as neat as possible, and the eraser marks and all those things shouldn't be there. And the main figure should be clearly visible from all those working lines, like the arcs and all those things you draw. So the main figure should be visible. It should be dark enough, darker than the other lines. It should look neat, basically. That's the point. It should be neat. And now coming to the one which makes the major difference in marks, which is dimensioning. So dimensioning, basically, you might already know what that is. That is marking all the lengths and radii and all those other things. So pay a lot of attention to it. You might have the rules of dimensioning in the slides. So check those rules very carefully while you are dimensioning. Make sure that you don't miss any of the rules and it's neat. Because if you are doing dimensioning and you just say break some dimensioning rule, like it's going over one of the drawings, then you're going to lose a lot of marks. So be very careful for that. Try to not to miss any dimensions or not break any dimensioning rules. And there will be a semi-objective type quiz conducted. It's very simple. The questions come basically all from the slides. There's nothing from outside, and semi-objective because you'll have to write a few FIBs and all those things. So don't worry about that too hard. It's pretty easy. And about that, so I guess that's about it for CE110. The best thing I can say is that you're missing one of the best courses. It's a lot of fun to do it in the uh, uh, in the class. The TAs are very helpful. They even help you in exams, but I think you guys will be missing out on that. So just try to enjoy it as much as possible. Don't take a lot of load in it. It's very easy to score a good grade. At least a 9 can be easily scored. I was very terrible at drawing and I scored 9. You guys can possibly score more than 10. I don't know. So once again, all the best. See ya.
Hello everybody, am I audible? Cool. So starting with the clubs, you all have been asking about joining the clubs, what all are clubs there. So we'll be releasing a PPT regarding all of the clubs with a brief introduction. Also, the orientations are there, and I think the tech board has released the dates. So I suggest you all to attend all of those orientations and get into ones you feel interesting. Okay. So next is previous year materials. So all the previous year materials are in the first year folder of Course Hub. You all must be having the link of the Course Hub, right? Then about the coding. So coding is very famous. So you should start by C or C++ basics for the first sem, and coding. You should explore other things too, but most of the students get into coding, so you should try that also. Then about CPI. CPI is all obviously important. If you are doing something out of the box that nobody will be asking your CPI, then you should not mind about that. But about the placements or higher educations, CPI is very important. Books versus slides. Okay, so in most of the courses, slides are more than enough. But for few topics which you have difficulty in, you can look at the books. Okay, about the intern. uh, in first year, I wouldn't suggest you to get into intern and all of that because you do not know things at this time. I suggest that you should explore all of that. There are many things to explore, right? So don't get over intern. Okay. Then time management, all of the things are online this sem, so I think time manage ho raha hoga. Matlab, you don't have to go for the clubs and all. That's it.
So now we are open for a open Q&A, and we will be answering all the questions that you have asked in the questions tab. Kunal, can you unmute yourself? Kunal?
Okay, let us answer the questions if he's not there.
Regarding grading, we cannot predict because of this year of. Hello, am I audible? Internet connection.
Sahej, mute yourself. I think there is some disturbance from your side.
Okay, regarding grading, we cannot predict what will be the grades at what marks because of this online SEM. So this
Atishay, are
time,
you there?
yes. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go on.
And for the branch change, only 10% of a branch are allowed to change the branch. If your branch have 80 students, only 8 students will be allowed to change the branch. So,
Just put your questions in the question tab. We will keep answering them.
okay. So I will also tell you
Anybody
about
would
the
like to
last year.
answer? Bhaiya book padhe ya notes?
Sai, you can answer some of the questions.
I think Sai is not able to
Okay,
listen
wait.
us.
I'll see what I can do. See, I can see many questions regarding the relative grading system, so I'll try my best to explain it. So, how it goes is basically you all will give tests and exams, and you all will get a lot of marks. Okay, like a lot of different variation in the marks, right? So, the person with the highest grade, for example, say the maximum marks are 90 on 100. So, a certain range will be decided from the highest marks to a certain lower number. For example, say 90 to 80. So, those many people will get a AS grade, which is basically 10, and then 80 to 70 say will get a double A grade, that is also 10. And after that, for use following the same method, thoda niche aaya to you'll get have a 9, 8, 7, 6 something, and it goes that way. So basically relative is that it will be relative to the topper of your that certain course. All right, if you want the more technical terms, then basically they make a Gaussian distribution of the marks and take the mean value from the peak there, and that is your 10 grade, and a little below from that it's the 9 grade, and that it goes that way. So that is your relative grading system. Okay, and what about CH110? It follows the same points in the general labs. Basically, just if like you guys are not doing experiments, read the lab manuals, do the experiments, try to do well in the viva and the lab quizzes that happen, because those are important, carry a nice weightage. And so there's that. And second sem online or offline, I don't think you guys will be called, neither we will be. So I think your second sem will be online. That's very unfortunate. I can see your pain. And any quantum mechanics from PH101. Quantum mechanics is yeah, that's the Hamiltonian, the Hamiltonian operator. That's where it comes. It's actually pretty simple. I think reading the slides should be enough, and if it's not, just download the previous year ones from our course up. They were very detailed slides. PH101 were amazing slides. So, which programming language? You'll be taught C in your second semester, C. So, you can start practicing C. Some of you might have already studied it. So, starting with Python, crime? No, no, it's not a crime. Actually, in my personal preference, Python is a better starting language because you don't have to declare and all that. But since you'll be taught C, we are recommending C so that you can be caught up with the course, because you're not taught Python, you're taught C, and an introduction to C++ is given. So if you can manage, two different programming languages along with this hectic online syllabus, then you're good to go. So C or C++. Well, that depends. Kind of depends on you which one you're comfortable with. I'd say C++. Everyone uses C++ these days. Not C. C is old. At what CPI can we take minors?
Okay, for the branching and minor, I will tell you about the cutoffs. So last year for the branching, the cutoff were for CSE, it was around 9.59, almost 9.6. For MNC to branching, you have to score about 9.3. For EC, about 9 to 9.1. For triple E, around 8.68 or around 8.7 on the safer side. For mechanical, around 8.2, and for chemical around 7.8 or 7.6 or something. And and now coming to the minors, for CSE minors you have to score around 8.6 or 8.5. Then comes the math minor, which hovers around 8 CPI. Then comes the double E minor, which hovers around 7.7 to about 7.8 CPI. These are all the famous minors, and rest the list goes on.
Minors in the second year only. So it depends on your first year CPI. If you want a good minor, try to do well. Okay,
No, MNC guy cannot take a minor in a CSE course.
if one MA quiz is missed, how much impact would it make? It will make a lot of impact since your marks are basically it's an equal weightage. So you're in for a loss unless for us for our year what they did was like this semester which we just had there were two extra quizzes, so if you missed one then it would be compensated. We had 10 quizzes out of which 8 were considered, so you got to ask to your course instructor about that. If he's generous then he might give you a makeup quiz or something if he's generous, or as the maths department is not known for being generous. So there's that. टेस्ट में चीटिंग करनी है क्या? हाँ, ना बोल दूंगा तो रुक जाएगा क्या? Lectures, well, you don't need to listen to them if you don't want marks. I mean, what can I say, man? It is boring, I agree. We have slept in a lot of lectures, but since we had friends, we somehow managed. Someone made notes and everything. But the slides, at least you know what? Don't listen to the lectures. At least note down the topics that the guy is teaching, all right? This will make things easier for you. Because if you note down the topics then you can go through books, YouTube and internet and everything. Because let me be honest here, okay, the IT professors are not here to teach, they are just filling up their own CV. So they just will tell you the general thing what you have to learn and you'll have to work hard on yourself. Make this mindset from the first year itself, because the teachers straight flat out told us that we are here just to guide you and tell you what you have to learn and you'll have to learn it yourself. So don't expect that much help from your professors. So yeah, there's that. And
Regarding in some courses, the pre-midsem part will not be there in your post-midsem part. In few courses, it will be there, but it will be of a shorter weightage. Only 10 to 20% marks will be there in the final paper for the pre-midsem part. In only one or two courses, you will be told by the instructor in which courses you have pre-midsem part or last quiz part. You will be told before the uh, exam.
I see a lot of questions regarding minor and branch change. We'll be sharing some data with you in PPT or maybe PDF form about that. So don't worry about that. We have seen all the questions. We'll address them all at once. Good range of marks in C lab assignment. Out of 100, try to get 85 plus. It's actually very easy to there. There will be NSEMs. I don't think there will be. Like it depends on the instructor. Contact your instructor regarding this. Most likely there won't be. So spectroscopy for us, the slides were enough. Our sir was very nice. He was kind of strict, but he taught well. So the slides should be enough. Else, the reference books that he has given, you should study from that. Spectroscopy is very well explained in those books. So in the first year, additive grading is for everyone, all of you, the entire campus, like all the freshers, the first years. In what subjects should we make notes? Make notes in any subject you find tough, like just the topics. If you're not, at least I'm telling you, just make note of the topics that are being taught, so that you don't just forget that what was taught in the previous classes. Try to understand it, okay? So, see, all these things regarding what syllabus will be covered, it all heavily depends on the instructor. They must have told you this, or you can just ask them. You're free to ask them. They won't bite you or something. Anyways, you're online, so they are not going to scold you that much. So, ask about the NSEMs, about the syllabus and everything to the instructors, like because they are conducting the exam, everything is in their hand. Okay, from where to study coding? What can I say except YouTube? That's the best one. Or you can for coding starting with C. I can tell you there's a book called Let Us See. Let Us See. Okay, so that book is actually pretty good. You should just by reading it, you can build up some basics of coding. At least if you're going for coding, then read Let Us See till the loops, for loops, and everything. At least that much you can read. So you'll have a basics in coding. You'll see because the CS 101 and CS 110 course in the second semester are considered to be one of the toughest courses all around, because most people are not we're very new to coding. They have no exposure. So try to read Let Us See. It's very helpful. That's the best I can say.
Regarding coding, you can see the channel name is the New Watson. and the guy is Bucky's tutorial. You should search Bucky's tutorial for C and C++ and go through his videos. Seniors recommend these videos to us also. So for coding, just start from the basic of C and C++, Bucky's tutorial on YouTube. Subsequently, you will be knowing about Coursera and Udemy courses in the later SEM, but for now, you should start from the basic of C and C++ from YouTube. That's it. Don't take load on coding in first SEM. Minimum marks to pass in math. This time we cannot predict what will be the minimum marks. In our time, it was very low, relatively low.
I guess 17 के आसपास था. I don't remember correctly.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
I have a suggestion here.
previous
Uh,
year,
until last year, we were in the campus. So when we just came from the coaching environment into campus, we cooled down a bit. So what happened was that we had that rhythm of studying hard, and then that got broken for a while. But I think so nowadays you'll be at home, you'll be in the same environment. So I think so the relative marks that you must be getting in order to stay at the same grade, it must increase. That's what I assume should happen. But again, you should be working hard this time because you're giving it from home, and anything can happen, you know what. So yeah, that's just an advice.
Also,
those who
I
are
think, in
asking
my
about
opinion,
previous year question, all the things are on the CoSub Drive link. We will share the Drive link again. You will get on your freshers group through your class representative or branch representative, what you call them.
also, I think I don't think passing will be difficult in this sem because uh, I think since like
Yeah,
the
ECE
marks
student
are
can
very
take CS
diluted in online
minus.
sem.
R
Okay,
minus worth
so
it? Definitely yes. CS minus, Maths minus open some a good amount of companies. Some good companies are open for minors also. So they
Also
are
design
worth it.
minor. Also design minor. It's a bit different field, but you can get a very good packages there.
So there is a question about this PH110 lab. So yeah, it is quite hard. So don't worry too much about it if you couldn't answer the question. But for the next time, just check with the people who had already been asked the questions, and they are seriously very bad professors in those labs. They ask very hard questions out of the lab manual, so you don't need to worry too much about it. You just do the work neatly for the lab report and on all that, and you would be fine.
Guys, seriously, it's your first sem. Stop worrying about minors, branch change, and all those things. A little bit. Calm down a little bit. We'll have a similar seminar probably for the second semester where we'll talk in detail about all those things. Right now, focus on this first semester. These questions will be answered in due time. We'll be sharing some details in a PPT form, so don't worry that much about it. And
What about Elcharinga? Everything will be online about one and a
only
half
course
years.
related questions will be introduced.
Okay. टॉपर की CPI 10 ही होती है. There are 2-3 students who will score 10. Syllabus included in the next quiz, it might or it might not be, but generally it is not included. The next quiz will be different or will be of a different syllabus from the previous, and the previous syllabus will not be included generally. If it is included, then instructor will tell you about that. Last year topper CPI 10.
See, CPI is the subject wise, it's the cumulative performance index. So you will get grades out of in each subject and it's cumulative. You will have a weighted average like calculating center of mass. The formula is basically the same. So using that, you will be given an SPI, which is the semester performance index. And after that, each semester also has a credit weightage, basically. So that will be combined to get the CPI for cumulative performance index. It can be kind of confusing. So we'll be sharing the details about this one because a lot of people have asked. So don't worry too much about that. Just focus on getting marks. Uh, what is a good
CPI
range?
calculation formula and how to calculate we will be sharing in the slide. We
Yeah.
will be sharing the slide within 2-3 days.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. And who got 10 last year? Well, those guys were snakes. Even if you tell you their name, they won't talk to you that much. So there's that. Just kidding. No offense. How much hours of study? Just see, it doesn't depend on how much others have given. Study enough so that you're comfortable with a given topic. All right. A good range of CPI, huh? Try to be above 8.5. I know it's very tough, but yes.
About 8 is also safe. Above 8 is also a safe bet.
Try not to be below 8, but 8.5 above is considered a good range, and so be careful about that. So next,
CPI for design minor around 7.3, 7.5.
lowest CPI. ये जीरो आती है क्या CPI अतिशय?
I think no.
4 के F grade ना 3 के आसपास 1 होता है ना?
I think the worst CPI I have heard is around 3.4.
हाँ 3 के आसपास हमने lowest नहीं है, बाकी पता नहीं. If you guys want to make new records, you are welcome to do so. And engineering physics students get placed. EP से कोई है क्या इधर?
बुलाना है क्या?
बुलाना. Anyways, EP students आउट प्लेसमेंट्स. अरे ये सब चीजें यार, ये सब चीजों पे सेकंड सेमेस्टर में फोकस करियो. अभी थोड़ा हो जा. टॉपर होने का फायदा क्या है? टॉपर बन जाओ, खुद देख ले क्या फायदा होता है. इतना तो मतलब क्या. Branch change occurs after your second sem, that is after first year. Each year has 2 sems. Good cheating techniques to avoid snakes. क्या कर सकते हो? I don't know, man. We didn't have an online sem, so. How many students have above 9? Lot of students. अतिशय कोई आइडिया है कितनों का होता था? मेरे हिसाब से बहुत लोगों को आता है 9 के ऊपर.
Around 10%, 40.
अबे 100
तो ही जाते होंगे.
100 तो ही जाते हैं, आराम से 100 हो जाते होंगे. से एक जनरल एडवाइस तुम सबको देता हूँ, जो 8 क्रेडिट के सब्जेक्ट हैं उसमें फोकस करना. एटलीस्ट ट्राई टू गेट 10 इन एटलीस्ट 2. सी एमए में लाना थोड़ा टफ होता है, ठीक है.
You can in chemistry you can score.
तो 10 ले ही आना कुछ भी करके. इट्स वेरी इजी, ठीक है. CH में 10 ले ही आना, और डबल ई में थोड़ा ध्यान ज्यादा रखना पड़ता है, बट यू कैन इजिली गेट एटलीस्ट 8 और 9 यू कैन गेट, ठीक है. तो ट्राई योर बेस्ट, बिकॉज 8 क्रेडिट्स वाले सब्जेक्ट तुम्हारी सीपीआई को बहुत ज्यादा अफेक्ट करेंगे, ठीक है. And you
For
don't
inorganic, Akshay sir will be telling you what he will hinting you what we will ask for the paper. So be attentive in that. Akshay Kumar sir is teaching inorganic. He will be hinting you.
Yes,
Just be attentive.
he straight up tells that he will say like, I might ask this certain topic, and he will actually ask that. So don't worry. He's actually pretty
Also,
nice.
please attempt last year paper in chemistry. They are very useful.
Very, very useful.
Might get exact same questions also. And physical, you will get almost exactly same.
And please don't try to be a snake and message Arun sir, the physical chemistry teacher, that sir, please don't ask last year questions, because it does.
You will be in a great trouble if he asks new questions.
You guys are in for a horrible experience. You will not be able to answer a single thing. He's being very generous to you. Don't take advantage of it. Let him set the paper as he wants. It's going to be very easy. He'll ask the exact same things with exact same options in the exact same order at times. So don't be worried, okay? Previous year papers, Course Hub has most of it. So organic problem, organic.
For organic, practice the tutorial problems regularly and just go through
their new slides are not very good.
Okay, so please refer to the last year slides.
Yeah.
They are
the
also
concepts are explained, and there are some questions also related to the concept. The answers are not given, but you should be able to figure them out with ease. Coordinate with each other and use them to learn it, because we didn't study anything extra. Our slides were pretty good. Our teacher was also very nice, although he gave a tough paper, but what can we say?
I think data we have not learned. The data we have not learned. In spectroscopy we have to learn, but other than that, डाटा कहाँ था ज्यादा?
अरे
ब्रांच
डाटा यार स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी में भी उतना कहाँ लर्न करा था, एक आध बस लिमिट्स याद रखनी थी, और ग्राफ में कौन सा पीक क्या कौन सा कंपाउंड बताता है इतना तो याद
in
रखना है स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी।
spectroscopy you have to mug up, but else it's fine.
So there is
For
that.
branch change, 2 semester CPI, SPI will be considered. With that, it will be around.
So Atishay, uh,
What?
1 घंटा हो गया है, आई थिंक दे हैव a lot of quizzes tomorrow, so I think we can
Okay,
close this session. All right,
okay. Some 2-3 questions we can take.
2 3 questions.
For branch in 2 sem marks will be considered.
Two sem first
Just
year, like I said, don't worry.
first year. A cumulative performance index CPI will be calculated after end of the first year, which will be used in your branch change and minors also.
First ME quiz was horrible. See, ME 110, the marks given are usually very generous. It will affect you, but I don't think in that particular subject that much. So, okay, see, the CPI calculation, all the questions regarding that, we will address that in a PPT, a nice PPT, okay? So don't worry. And link for previous year content, you'll receive a mail with the course sub link. Please go through it. You'll have everything sorted subject wise. There should not be a problem. And see, don't try to miss any quizzes or any assignments, because now your online continuous assessment, everything has a nice weightage or nearly equal weightage. Please do not try to miss, okay? और attendance का भी देख लेना यार, last time तो sometimes it was considered, but you could just go and talk to the professors and beg to him, and then he'll consider it. We don't know how they'll do it in online. They might not consider, so do not take any risks. Just open MS Teams and sleep, man. Come on, it's not that tough. So okay, I guess that's it for today. Atisha, I think we should be closing.
Okay. So
Okay.
thank you all for joining us. The PPT will be shared with you within 2-3 days with all the questions, frequently asked questions. We will be answering in them. Also, we are going to launch our website very soon, within 2-3 weeks. So you will do not to go through the drive link. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you guys. All the best for exams. Have a nice